Thank you for taking a moment away from your TV and all the college basketball you're watching today. Jack Harris, Rob Werner at Cronkite Sports Live. Jack, my bracket isn't in a great spot after the first round. How's yours going?
Mine's hanging around. I got all my Sweet 16 teams alive, but that's the whole point. You got to play the long game with these things. It's not all about the first round games. Yeah,
my first round's rough, but I'm going to hope that you're right, and it's all about the second half of the tournament. Well, anyway, like we're saying, it's tourney time, what some people call the best time of the year. And Arizona State women's basketball is one of 6 Pac-12 teams that earned a spot in the Big Dance. The 5th-seeded Sun Devils are playing in the first round right now against the 12th-seeded UCF team. And throughout the show, we'll throw it over to our women's basketball reporter, Gabe Swartz, for in-game updates. Gabe, what's going on early so far?
Well, the Devils and the Knights are in the second quarter right now. ASU leading 16-9 with 7:05 to play in the second quarter. An absolute brickfest from the Knights. ASU's defenses just stifled them all afternoon long. So a good start for the Devils. They're up 7 with 7 to play in the half. Send it back to you guys at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Gabe. Well, as you probably know, ASU's men's team was eliminated earlier today, losing in the first round of the NCAA tournament to Buffalo 91-74. And for more on that game, we bring in our WCSN men's basketball reporter now, Chris Gleason. And Chris, there was some optimism from ASU fans that they could maybe pull the upset here. They were in the game early, but then Buffalo pulled away. Where did this one get away from the Sun Devils?
Well, Jack, it starts with offensive rebounds. Ever since the beginning of that game, Buffalo was really getting a lot of points off of second chance, offensive rebounds. And, you know, ASU had that early 14-10 lead. Buffalo went on a 14-2 run, really didn't look back. Where ASU hurt themselves the most on the offensive end of the floor was three-point shooting. 0 for 8 in the first half, finished the game 3 for 22. And you heard Coach Nate Oates for Buffalo mentioned at the end of the game their fatigue. It really seems like that kind of caught up with them by the end of the game.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the Sun Devils, they had to play on Wednesday, of course, against St. John's in the first 4. ASU was able to win that game, but did you think that the 2 games in a couple-day span here had an impact in this afternoon's game?
Yeah, I think it definitely did. You know, after that overtime loss to Oregon, Bobby Hurley mentioned specifically in the press conference that he, was planning on Remy Martin, their star point guard, having 5 to 6 days of rest. And, they only ended up with 4. And so, that definitely played an impact, traveling 1,800 miles to get to Dayton for the first 4 game, then 750 to Tulsa. And, on college students, you got to figure that kind of comes into play.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So here's the big question for you. A lot of good moments for ASU this year, a lot of big wins, a second-place finish in the Pac-12. They win a tournament game for the first time in a decade, and yet it seems like they might have left something on the table. So in your opinion, was this season a success for ASU?
Well, it depends how you look at it because, I think people were hoping for more. This was Bobby Hurley's possibly most talented team he's had and one of the most talented teams ASU's had since James Harden's team 10 years ago. So, I think people were hoping for either a deeper run in the NCAA tournament, maybe bringing home a Pac-12 title, something to remember the season by. But when you look at the long run, they did make it deeper in both the Pac-12 and NCAA tournaments and did a lot better in conference play this season. So it is good to see the program trending upward, and I think that's what they have to take away from this.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Chris, thanks for your coverage today and all season long. ASU basketball, though, it's over now. One team not over, probably putting themselves in position to make a deep NCAA tournament run right now is ASU baseball. They go for their first road series of the season this weekend at Oregon and have started the year 20-0 after knocking off Cal Baptist on Wednesday night.
With an undefeated season still intact, the Sun Devils continued their 2019 campaign, welcoming California Baptist to Phoenix Muni. The Devils were looking to continue their offensive momentum, and the man himself, Hunter Bishop, helped kick that off with 2 home runs, both flying over the right field wall. But after the Devils opened up the floodgates, things started to get interesting. The Devils looked to utility man Carter Aldretti to pitch through the 8th inning, giving up 1 earned run. And the Lancers would mount a comeback, scoring 9 runs in the last 4 innings, to the disappointment of head coach Tracy Smith.
I'll be honest with you, I'm really disappointed. That's the part for me because we've had a bullpen that has been taxed with having to, pitch a lot of innings, not a lot of guys. And the one thing, when you go out, and I think we at one point, we have a never less than a double-digit lead, right? The whole when that stuff started, and to have to bring Brady Corrigan in at the end, I'm not real happy. I mean, honestly, I'm not real happy about it.
But the lead built up by the Devils would be enough for them to walk away with the 15-9 victory. The Devils are now 20-0 on the season and head to Oregon to take on the Ducks for their first road series of the season. Reporting in Phoenix Municipal Stadium, Jack Lauderay, Cronkite Sports.
Like both basketball teams, the Gym Devils find themselves ready to hit postseason play with hopes of improving on last year's effort. ASU will head to Salt Lake City this weekend to compete in the Pac-12 championships after finishing 6th in the tournament last year. It's been an up and down season for this group, as the team has performed remarkably better in Tempe than anywhere else. If the Gym Devils want to make a statement the rest of the way, they're going to have to do it outside of their comfort zone. Surrounded by powerhouses like UCLA, Utah, and frankly the rest of the Pac-12, ASU needs to, quote, put together a full meet, as head coach Jay Santos says. Through all the madness this weekend, you can catch Arizona State and some of the other gymnastics programs in the country Saturday starting at noon on Pac-12 Network. And we know competing in the Pac-12 is incredibly difficult, but what about the absolute basics of the sport? Our own Tyler Mannion found out that even those are harder than they appear.
Tyler Mannion here alongside ASU gymnast Carlin and Baker, and we're here today to see what this gymnastic stuff is all about.
Okay, so Tyler's gonna start with some handstands, and this is gonna be hilarious. Oh, I was expecting a more graceful ending, but he held it up there for a little while. We could do some cartwheels.
Okay.
Oh man, I was expecting that to be more funny. Why could he do that?
That's kind of nice.
Actually, I'm pretty impressed. Let's go, we'll make it harder. Let's go to beam. Since he's handling all my easy stuff, I guess we're just gonna have to go handstands on the beam.
Oh my goodness, you're crazy. Nope. Nope. Oh, this is hard.
It's not that hard. 4-year-olds can do it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was pretty good.
Yes. Am I on the team yet?
No.
Dang it.
This time we're just gonna backflip. Just easy peasy lemon squeezy, just cartwheel.
Okay.
Because that's how it's gonna look when he does it, so I just wanted to prepare. Okay, stay in your tuck. You would have had that.
Really?
Yeah, you had height. Then you just like spazzed. This is kind of what I imagine Ashley doing floors like. Full twist, seat drop, split jump.
Ooh, snap.
Seat drop, split jump. That was pretty good. I mean, your splits are terrible, but the rest of it's pretty good. All right, let's move on to strength.
Yo.
Okay, hold that there. Pull up.
We got one. Oof.
Oh no! He lost all of it. Now can he do it by himself with the music?
No, no.
Okay, well, let's just watch it because it'll be a disaster. Okay. Yep. Oh! Oh, he did it! It looks terrible, but he did it.
That's ASU Gymnastics super sophomore Kyra Leonard Baker. I'm Tyler Mannion, Cronkite Sports.
Cronkite Sports.
Great stuff, as always, from our Tyler Mannion reporting on the ASU gymnastics team. Now let's send it back over to Gabe with another update on ASU.
Well, guys, we're closing in on halftime, and I'm in desperate need of some food. This is a tough watch. ASU's up 25-13, but there's not been very many shots made. The defense has been great, though. For the Knights, offensively, it's not been a great game here down in Coral Gables. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, well, hang in over there, Gabe. Now, the NCAA Wrestling Championships are also going on this week in Pittsburgh, and our own Travis Whitaker is there and joins us by phone now to break down how the Sun Devils are doing. Travis, what has ASU look like over these first 3 sessions in Pittsburgh?
Arizona State wrestling has looked really, really good so far in the first 3 sessions here in Pittsburgh. Last night I talked to Arizona State coach Zeke Jones. He really liked the way that his team performed yesterday. They went 7 for 8. The only loss that they had on their record yesterday was 149-pounder Josh Maruka. He fell to Iowa's Pat Lugo. It was a very close match. He was in it. He just unable to prevail. He was able to come back, though, however, and upset the number 7 seed Caden Feller of Oklahoma State in the first round of Constellations. As we all know, Arizona State's Big 3 starts at 157, 165, and returning national champion Zahid Valencia at 174. All 3 of those guys last night were able to advance to the quarterfinals. In this morning's session today, both Josh Shields and Valencia were able to advance to the semifinals after winning their matches. Josh Shields beat his guy 5-0. Last time they wrestled, it was a 3-2 match, so very, very close. And the first time Josh was able to prevail and wrestle really tough in that match. Zahid's match, I wasn't able to watch it as I was getting interviews at that time with Josh Shields. However, he was able to pin his opponent from Army to advance to the semifinals.
All right, well, what should we expect the rest of the weekend from the Sun Devils?
Every match from here on out is tough. One thing is Arizona State has wrestled probably one of the toughest schedules in the country. They've had duels with Penn State, who's currently in first place, Ohio State, Missouri. They've traveled back to this is the 3rd time in Pennsylvania this year, so they've been through the ringer. They've also seen their opponents that they will wrestle tonight. Like I said it earlier, Zahid Valencia will wrestle Daniel Lewis of Missouri, who he lost to in Tempe just a couple months ago. He is really motivated and confident in his training and his mindset's in the right place in order to come out on top this time. One thing that Josh Shields added after his quarterfinals match, he described that their heavy workload in the practice room by the coaches Chris Bettleton, Jamil Kelly, and head coach Zeke Jones, and their tough schedule has benefited and prepared them for what they have done prior to this season, so that now when they step on the mat in these tough matches at the NCAAs, it seems like nothing.
Yeah, well, very clearly a lot is going to be coming up the next couple days. You can follow it all at cronkitesports.com. Travis, thank you.
Now, you may not know it, but one of the nation's hottest golf teams resides in Tempe. The Arizona State team, led by head coach Matt Thurman, won back-to-back tournaments after sealing a victory on Tuesday in Tucson at the National Invitational Tournament, including an individual medal and first-place finish for junior Alex Del Rey. The Sun Devils are ranked 5th in the nation, and the team has 2 more invitational tournaments before postseason play begins. Arizona State softball is also having an excellent season, as the team is currently 22-8 and ranked 18th in the nation. Not only is the team finding success on the field, they're helping the community as well. On Wednesday, the team welcomed Alexis, whose birthday is today, and Alexis is a young girl from Friends of Jacqueline, which helps children with cancer. WCSN spoke with head coach Tricia Ford at practice about her team's work on and off the field.
I think, obviously last weekend we finished really strong, which I was, really happy with and proud of them of that rebound. I think, we hopefully got our first Pac-12 game jitters out. I think our pitchers have had really good work this week, which I think is, huge for us. They feel really good. And then I think offensively, obviously we're just going to continue what we're doing, hunting good pitches, having a plan, those types of things. So we're still, just keep moving and keep pushing forward, but we're excited to be at home again against Utah and know that it will be a fun and exciting series. Alexis joined our team last night, and she's from Friends of Jacqueline, which is an organization that pairs up athletic teams, and they've actually branched out to other types of organizations, but of kids kind of going through brain cancers and just different illnesses that are really serious. For us as a staff, it's just something that hits really close to home. Coach Harger has had to deal with this, and for me, being a parent and really why we coach is to help shape these young women and for them to understand what life is about. It's really not about softball. And we're just really lucky that we get to play a sport, and how fortunate we are that we can come outside and play and move and, do all this fun stuff that we really take for granted. So for me, it's just a great opportunity for us to put life in perspective.
Now it's time for social media, and for that we welcome in our social media expert, Troy Tauscher. Troy, what do you got for us this week?
Got a lot of great tweets, guys. A lot of baseball. It's that time of year. The regular season, the MLB is starting to pick up. ASU baseball, we've talked earlier about the win streak they're on. But first, we are going to take it to the MLB, and one of the best players in the entire Major Leagues, Mike Trout, who was actually here on campus in Cronkite News, standing in front of the weather screen in our neighbors next door. And it says, meteorologist and weather aficionado and the Angels outfielder and American League MVP was here as part of an ESPN story right here in Cronkite. And guys, of course, Trout just signing that big $430 million 12-year contract with the Angels, which, if I do my math a little bit here, is, let's see, that is $430 million more than we are paid to be here right now. Yes. So a little jealous of him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm jealous that I wasn't here the one day this happened. I feel like I'm here 7 days a week, but somehow that happened when I wasn't here.
It shouts to him, though. Didn't wear the green shirt. A lot of people fall in that trap first-time TV, but he's handled it like a pro. I
mean, how many green shirts do most people have?
Especially Mike Trout. The Angels' color is red. I bet he only wears red shirts.
Yeah.
But we're going to take it to the Mike Trout of ASU baseball, arguably, Spencer Torkelson, who we have a new clip in our intro here, as you saw earlier, and Nick Batters, one of our anchors, said he decided to randomly film one pitch that Spencer Torkelson went to the yard, and Torkelson's suggestion is film more. So I guess there's a little bit of luck there. So guys, my question to you guys have covered ASU for a long time. Do you feel like there's some kind of thing you have where it's like if you're there, a team always wins or always loses?
I don't know. I feel like if you go to enough, you're just going to be back and forth. I will say, though, if you film enough Spencer Torkelson swings, you're going to catch a home run every now and again.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I'm with Jack, though. I think we've been to so many games that they've lost more than we've won since we've been here at ASU, but I don't know if there's necessarily a trend with that.
I personally feel like every ASU basketball game I go to is low scoring, a lot of fouls, and they usually lose. I don't know why.
Your favorite style of play, too, right? 50-50, yeah.
Absolutely. And finally here, we have a tweet from ASU SID. Doug Tamaro just tweeted a photo of his dogs, and this kicked off a little bit of a thread of ASU's SIDs tweeting out photos of their dogs. You see Mark Jezik there, Molly Hankey, and Kimberly Hayner doesn't have a dog, but tweeted her brother's dog. So guys, the obvious question here, which one's the winner of the 5, but 4 pictures?
I'm going to go with Molly's dog. I think that Molly's dog is the cutest. All the dogs seem great, but I would go toward Molly.
I think I got to go with Doug's dogs, with the tongue and everything.
Why, are they crying?
It's pretty cute. They're pugs. It's just pugs kind of
why does it look like there's water in their eyes? Do pugs always look like that?
Yes.
I don't know, but I think it makes pictures.
I haven't seen many pugs. I haven't seen many pugs that look like they have tears in their eyes.
I like Mark's dog, and I'm not just saying this because I cover softball. His dog looks cool. That's about all I got.
Well, you might have earned some brownie points with him, though.
Yeah, and that's about all I got for tweets this week. But guys, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Troy. All right, well, Gabe, we're going to send it back to you one more time. We're coming near the end of the show. What's going on, though, in Miami?
Well, guys, we've reached halftime down in Coral Gables. ASU leading 26-16. Sun Devils shot 40% from the field in the first half. UCF shot 20%. ASU's leading scorers, Kiana Ibis had 5 points. Courtney Ekmark also had 5 points to lead the Devils. So, again, halftime in Miami, ASU leading 26-16.
Thanks, Gabe. After a slow start to the season, last weekend may have been a turning point for Arizona State men's tennis. The team hadn't beaten a top 25 ranked team since its revitalization in 2018. Sun Devils traveled to Indian Wells, California to play in the BNP Paribas Open Collegiate Tennis Challenge and knocked off number 13 Michigan and number 31 Cal. The team has struggled pulling out close matches this season, but in those impressive victories, ASU had a match-clinching win in a 3-set battle twice. It was junior Nathan Ponwith that clinched the game winner against Michigan, defeating the number 37 player in the nation in Michigan's Matisse Simar. And sophomore Tim Rule led ASU in clinching a match in the Cal match as he came through once again in a pressure-filled moment, beating Cal's Paul Barreto 6-3 in the third set to guarantee the win for ASU. With ASU's 2 upset victories last weekend, the Sun Devils find themselves in the rankings this week at number 35. ASU will look to improve upon its results in Palm Desert with a Friday doubleheader in Texas against Incarnate Word and number 6 Baylor before a Sunday matchup against number 10 TCU.
Well, just in case the men's and women's basketball tournaments weren't enough, get ready to have one more bracket thrown your way on Sunday when the 16-team field for the men's hockey tournament is announced. Just like on the hardwood, the Sun Devils are set to be included in the road to the Frozen Four as well, projected to be a 3 seed playing in Providence, Rhode Island next week. As it prepares for its first ever trip to the tourney, ASU held an open scrimmage this past Wednesday. They not only saw leading scorer Johnny Walker return from an injury, but also highlighted the far-reaching impact these Cinderella Sun Devils have made.
The ASU men's hockey team skated their way up to Scottsdale this week to host a practice open to the community, as well as a player meet and greet. For Phoenix locals, it was a trip back to the past.
I grew up playing here, these little kids, it was me 10 years ago, so it's awesome, it's good to be back, but it was just fun to showcase kind of what we are right now to some younger kids.
It also allowed for some family members to show their support.
My brother and my mom are here from spring break.
A few of them, my grandma, grandpa, cousin, my brother, stepdad too, and my dad. So yeah, all of them.
It was good to have them here and watch me play, but it's just another thing when family means the most, and they're the reason I'm here, so it's good to let them see.
But ultimately, it was a time to shine for the NCAA tournament-bound Sun Devils.
I think it's just good to reach out and touch the community, especially the hockey community. You know, it's important, and this was a perfect time to do it, to break up the monotony in our weekly schedule, and let this organization up here, the kids that play here, watch a Division I practice and see the pace, and I think it was great.
You know, it added a little bit of excitement, and sometimes, especially when you're waiting for a month, practice can get a little repetitive and, you know, kind of feel like same old, so to kind of change it up and, you know, just have a fun practice in front of fans and really enjoy ourselves and showcase our team and our program. I thought it was really cool, and, you know, all the guys were really excited, and it was a fun night.
From Scottsdale for Cronkite Sports, Riley Trujillo.
And now we're going to head into The Way It Is. We ask each other a couple questions. We rant for a little while. We go back and forth, see who has the better answers, and then our producers in the studio will decide on who gets to deliver a monologue.
Best part of the show.
So, Jack, I'll start off with you. ASU baseball has had a magical start to the season at 20-0. This is the most consecutive wins to open the season ASU's had since 2010 when the Sun Devils won 24 games to begin the season. After this 3-game series against Oregon, ASU is going to host Arizona next weekend in a 3-game set. Does this team beat that record?
I don't think it does. Going on the road to Oregon, they're pretty high up in the RPI. The Sun Devils have been good, but they've also been able to play at home a lot. They haven't gotten into the teeth of their Pac-12 schedule. I don't think they're getting to 24. I'm
going to agree with you. I don't think that ASU baseball is going to be able to get 5 more wins and set the record. I think what they've done already is very impressive and very, unrealistic that they were going to win 20 games to begin the season. I don't think that they'll be able to win 5 more in a row against good competition.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll disagree on this one. Which is your favorite college tournament? The College Football Playoff, the Final Four, the Frozen Four, the College World Series, or maybe something else?
I'm going to go with March Madness. I think it's the most fun time of the year when you just get to sit around a couch and for like 12 hours watch games. I believe there's always 2 going on at a time during the first round. I just think it's so much fun. The amount of games, teams you don't even watch usually in the season, you get to check out and watch.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, if you like teams that you don't usually watch, how about the Frozen Four? Like all these hockey schools, they don't get a lot of respect the other times of the year. This is when they really get to step up, and ASU's going to be in it this season. I'm going to go on the ice, I think.
I might tune in just because you're saying that, though. And so now we're going to wait and see who our producers think answered those questions better, but
it's always tough. It's like a head-to-head bracket thing we got going on right now. I think, but I'm moving on. See, that's what I like to see. All right. Well, ASU basketball has been here before. A strong regular season, NCAA tournament appearance, and then an early exit from March Madness. It happened with Ike Diagu, it happened with James Harden, and it's happening again now. In the past, ASU hasn't been able to build on moments like this. It's why the last 4 coaches to even take the Sun Devils to the NCAA tournament have been fired within 4 seasons of a trip to the Big Dance. Scrolling through a list of Sun Devil basketball seasons paints a hollow story. Small spurts of success that have almost invariably turned into opportunities wasted. To be fair, these past 2 seasons have felt different. The crowds have been different, the wins have been different, the atmosphere has been different. Yet, once again, even with perhaps one of the program's most talented teams, the Sun Devils hit a wall again in this year's first weekend of the tournament. Maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time the Sun Devils can take these tokens of success and turn them into a fortune. They seem to have all the pieces to keep moving forward. But if history is any indicator, the next step ASU takes might be backward. And that's the way it is.
Well said, Jack. And now we're going to head into top plays number 3 for you, and we're going to head out to Phoenix Municipal Stadium for this one. It's Hunter Bishop hitting one of his 2 home runs he hit this past week on Wednesday against Cal Baptist, and geez, hitting the batter's eye there in center field. He's got 12 home runs on the season. That was a moonshot, Jack.
That one goes way up on the batter's eye. Yeah, big bat. But how about this? Going to the match, back to Pittsburgh, Zahid Valencia, one of the best wrestlers in the country, a first-round pin, making it look so easy. He's going for an individual national championship this week. That win put him into the semifinals. Of course, Travis, he's there. He's giving us all the lowdown. Valencia, one of the best.
Well, a national champion last year. This time we're going back to ASU baseball, and Sam Ferry calls game. Walk-off home run for Ferry and a great bat flip, as you can see there. Sam Ferry, this was his first collegiate home run. He's been injured the past 2 seasons, played something like 12 games combined. Really nice moment to see Ferry getting that opportunity and helping ASU stay perfect.
Yeah, it's like he's letting all the power out of his bat in one big swing right there. I got a question for you. What do you like more? You like the big bat flips? You like the on a walk-off home run, or do you like the buzzer beaters in March Madness?
I'm going to go with the buzzer beaters in March Madness. I think they're a little more exciting, although if we're talking about just a normal buzzer beater, I think I'd go with a walk-off home run.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get some of those March Madness buzzer beaters in the next couple of days. So much basketball going on. We're going to let you get back to it, but thank you for spending just a little part of your weekend here with us at Cronkite Sports Live. For Rob Werner, I'm Jack Harris. We'll see you next week.